What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Mistfall Hunter is out now. It is on Game Pass, and if you have just installed it, I want to save you the rough first few hours that most players go through, because this is an extraction game, and that means the mistakes you make early actually cost you something. You lose the gear, you lose the loot, and worst of all, that you lose the time. So this is not a systems explainer. This is a checklist. 10 things you should actually go and do first, in roughly the order you should do them to give yourself the best possible start. Some of these take 2 minutes. One of them is free money, and a couple of them will stop you throwing away gear you did not need to lose. Let us get straight into it. Number one, and do this before anything else, complete the solo expedition training. I know the temptation is to skip the tutorial and jump straight into a real raid with everybody else, but this one is not optional filler. That training run is what unlocks a whole set of features for you, and it is literally what qualifies you to enter Hallowgrove, which is the map you're going to be living on for your first several hours. It also gives you a completely safe place to learn the controls, the dodging, and the rhythm of combat without a single rival player hunting you while you figure out which button does what. Get it done, get it out of the way, and walk into your first real expedition already knowing how your class actually feels. Number two is the easiest win in this entire video, and it is time sensitive, so do not sit on it. The Season 1 Battle Pass unlocks completely free, and all you have to do is log in for 7 days total, and that is genuinely the whole requirement. No purchase, no grind, no challenge list. Just open the game on 7 separate days, and the whole pass, including its cosmetic set, is yours for nothing. And here's the important part. Those are cumulative logins, which means the clock only moves on days you actually launch the game. So if you are the kind of player who binges a game hard for a weekend and then disappears for 2 weeks, you are leaving a free reward sitting there. Even on the days you have got no time to play, load in, let it tick, and log out. 2 minutes of effort for a full pass. Number three, stay in Hallowgrove and resist the pull of the second map for a while. There are 2 very different regions here, and they are not just reskins of each other. Hallowgrove is wide and open, and crucially, the Golden Mist holds off until the closing moments of a run, so you get time and space to make mistakes and still get out. Brandrgarde is the opposite, much more enclosed, with mist that expands steadily through the match and squeezes the room you have to work with. It also hands out better rewards, which is exactly why new players wander in there early and immediately feed all their gear to it. Farm Hallowgrove, learn its landmarks properly, get a few clean extractions under your belt, and let the harder map wait until it is a choice rather than a mistake. Number four, and this is the habit that separates players who extract from players who die with full bags. Every single run drops you at a random spot on the map, so before you take one step, open that map and actually build a plan. Look at where you landed, then read the icons around you, the extraction points, the resource locations, the task markers, and the traversal routes that connect them, and pick a loop that ends somewhere you can realistically escape from. The players who sprint off in whatever direction they happen to be facing are the same players frantically crossing the entire map when the timer starts biting. 30 seconds of reading at the start of a run is worth more than any weapon in your bag, and it costs you absolutely nothing. Number five, learn one way out cold before you try to learn all of them, because getting stuck not knowing how to leave is the single most common way new players lose a good run. In Hallowgrove on normal difficulty, here is the route to burn into your memory. After a certain amount of time, a returning chime becomes active, you interact with it, and that summons a woodling somewhere random on the map. You hunt that thing down, you kill it, it becomes a soul tree, and then you ring the bell right beside that tree to open your extraction point. That is your bread and butter. Now, there is also a backup, smuggler woodlings that appear randomly and get you out instantly, but they only let you take your equipped gear and a couple of chosen items, so treat that as the emergency exit and not the plan. Number six, and this one is going to save you real heartbreak. When you die out there, you lose everything you were carrying, with 2 exceptions. Whatever is secured in your keychain and whatever is in your pips pouch comes home with you no matter what happens. So use those slots on purpose. The moment you pick up something genuinely valuable, do not leave it rattling around in your main bag, hoping for a clean escape. Put it straight into that protected space. Most new players find out these slots exist only after they have already lost their best item of the night. Make it a reflex instead. Good find goes in the pouch immediately, and then everything else you collect is a bonus rather than a risk. Number seven, when you get back to camp and start upgrading things, put the warehouse first. This trips up a lot of players because the warehouse is not the exciting building. It does not make you hit harder, and it does not look impressive. but it is what lets you stockpile the materials that every other upgrading camp demands. So if you neglect it, you end up throwing away mats you needed and bottlenecking your whole progression. After that, prioritize the healing statue because in match, sustain matters immediately, then your workshop and smith, then the shop for restocking after a bad run. And here's a genuinely great detail worth knowing. Your forge works on real world time and keeps running even while you're offline, and it scales with your camp levels. So set something forging before you close the game and come back to free progress. Number 8, and this will feel wrong at first, stop fighting everything you see. Skipping combat is a completely legitimate strategy in this game, not cowardice, and it is often the correct play. The map is stocked with enemies at wildly different tiers, so before you commit to anything, look at the level indicator above its head, because that is the game plainly telling you whether this fight is worth your time and your health bar. Same goes for other players. Every fight you take is a chance to lose the entire bag you have already filled, and there is no prize for clearing a map. If you are loaded with loot and the exit is open, just leave. The run where you quietly walk away with everything beats the run where you won a great duel and then died to the next guy. Number 9. Start paying attention to gem sockets early because this is where your power actually comes from, and almost nobody tells new players your gear affixes are not random rolls you pray for. They come from affixed gems that you socket in yourself, which means your build is something you deliberately assemble. There are 2 rules to remember. The socket level has to be at least as high as the gem level, and the socket type has to match the gem type, though there is one special socket type that will accept anything, and those are worth hanging on to. So stop chasing random drops and start looking at what your sockets actually need. And one trap to avoid, gems never break themselves, but the moment the item they are sitting in hits 0 durability, every gem effect inside it switches off. Keep your gear repaired. And number 10, before you sell a single thing to a vendor, go and look at the auction house. There is a real player-driven economy running in this game, and the gap between what a shop will hand you and what another player will pay can be enormous, especially for gems and for the rarer weapons. Get in the habit of checking prices before you dump anything, because the item you almost vendored for pocket change might be somebody else's missing build piece, and this cuts both ways. You can buy your way to gear you have not found yet. So if a run went badly and you are geared down, the auction house is often a faster fix than farming. Some players genuinely make their money entirely by trading rather than fighting, and that is a completely valid way to play this game. Do those 10 things and you will skip most of the pain that the rest of us went through in our first few hours. One last piece of advice, do not rush into the Cataclysm difficulty just because the loot looks better. Go there when you can comfortably kill the big Mistlords on normal, not before. If you found this useful, I have got a full class guide, a beginner's guide, and a builds breakdown for this game already up, so go grab those next and subscribe if you want the rest of the guides as they land. Now tell me down in the comments, which of these did you learn the hard way? Thank you all so much for watching. Good hunting out there, and I will see you in the next one.